simply not plausible in a world of text messaging. And I guarantee you, if they tried to revive Seinfeld and do an episode today, it would consist simply of Jerry and George judging people on Twitter. And that whole episode with the crazy restaurant simply wouldn't happen because there'd be 20 Yelp reviews about it. Who here likes to eat at restaurants? Of course you all do. There's not going to be the one guy in the audience like, no! See, my favorite thing about going to restaurants is looking at the menu, because I can't help but feel I'm being talked down to when reading the descriptions. Like, our cheeseburger has 2 flame broiled patties with lettuce, tomato, cheese, and I know what a cheeseburger is. Do you ever think like anyone ever finds those useful? Like, well, honey, did you know the spinach salad is a salad of spinach? Yes. Did you read the menu too? If I ever open a restaurant, I might just like throw insults into my menu, like. The brownie cheesecake is a cheesecake with brownies on top and chocolate topping, you moron. Second order of business would be finding out some way to serve appetizers in a reasonable number. Because I have no idea why, but every time I go to a restaurant, they feel the need to serve their appetizers in 5, which is the worst fathomable number you can serve an appetizer in. If you're eating with one other person, it's an uneven number. If you're eating with 2 other people, it's not divisible by 3. If you're eating with 3 or more other people, you're kind of a cheapskate for trying to get away with ordering just one other bowl of appetizers. And if you're eating by yourself, I'm sorry. But I personally believe that the worst thing a restaurant can do is when they bring out the fresh bread, and it smells delicious, and they bring it to your table. And not every restaurant is stupid enough to do this. I'm looking at you, Cheesecake Factory. They bring out the bread, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to eat that bread. You get a slice, you reach for the butter, but you instead find ice-cold, frigid-feeling cubes of what you assume is ice. But upon further investigation, you find it isn't the butter. And I just wonder if, like, Cheesecake Factory, as an establishment, knows what we, as human beings, use butter for. To spread it. And if it's frozen, like they bring it out as, we can't do that. I expect to like evenly spread my butter on my piece of bread and bite into a reasonable ratio of butter and bread. I instead end up having to cut a chunk of the frozen butter and in an attempt to spread it, lodge it into the middle of my bread. Probably get like a bite of plain bread, a bite of way too much butter to go with the bread, and another bite of plain bread. Someone tells me if you ever like walk in on the CEO of Cheesecake Factory, like during his lunch, he'll just have the packets of frozen butter and like open it up and just bite into one like everyone does it. Like he thinks that's how everyone just eats it, just eat the frozen butter. That'd be crazy. I have fondness for superheroes and supervillains, mainly because, you know, why they do what they do is often very interesting. But what often leaves me scratching my head is when, like, a supervillain will rob a bank for money, because I can't help but wonder what they're going to spend that money on. Like, I just have a hard time imagining Dr. Octopus, like, I can finally buy that new plasma screen I've been wanting. I just kind of wonder if you're going to steal money to buy a thing, why not just steal the thing? You know what? You don't need to bitch assuming. Maybe he just wants a nice day out at the Cheesecake Factory. When I wait for that Oreo cheesecake, but if they give me that frozen butter, I will destroy them! Okay, thank you all. You've been a wonderful audience.